November 4, 2025. New York City stands at a political crossroads. The mayoral election has electrified the city, with millions deciding its future direction on issues from housing to public safety. This is more than a local race. The outcome will shape the lives of over 8 million people and set precedents for cities nationwide. The contest is defined by sharp ideological divides and a sense that the city's very identity is at stake. As the final hours of voting tick away, New Yorkers face a stark choice: bold progressive change or a return to experienced, steady leadership. The answer will shape not just New York, but send a powerful message across America. 3 candidates define this race: Zohran Mamdani, the progressive Democrat; Andrew Cuomo, the independent former governor; and Curtis Sliwa, the Republican populist. Mamdani, 34, is a Democratic Socialist Assemblyman, energizing young, working-class voters with promises of social and economic justice. His campaign is grassroots, historic, and signals a major political shift if he wins. Cuomo, a political heavyweight, is staging a comeback as an independent, pitching experience and pragmatism to moderates and business leaders wary of radical change. Sliwa, founder of the Guardian Angels, runs as a populist outsider focused on crime and quality of life, appealing to those who feel left behind. Each candidate offers a radically different vision, making this one of the most unpredictable races in city history. The outcome hinges on which vision New Yorkers believe can truly lead their city forward. Mamdani's campaign is a call for fundamental change, a vision that seeks to address the deep-rooted issues plaguing New York City. He argues that New York's immense wealth hasn't translated into a better quality of life for most residents. The disparity between the rich and the poor is stark and growing. Mamdani champions affordable housing, rent control, and a stronger social safety net, aiming to create a more equitable city. He envisions a city that works for everyone, regardless of their background or economic status. His youth and outsider status attract those tired of establishment politics, offering a fresh perspective and new energy. However, critics question his readiness to manage a city of this scale, citing his lack of experience in governance. As a proud democratic socialist, Mamdani frames his platform as common sense, basic needs as human rights, inspired by successful Scandinavian models. This approach has built a powerful grassroots movement, drawing in volunteers and supporters from all walks of life. But it has also sparked fierce resistance from real estate moguls, Wall Street financiers, and moderates who warn of potential economic risks. Mamdani embraces the opposition, casting himself as the only candidate willing to challenge the entrenched status quo and fight for real change. His campaign tests whether New Yorkers are ready for a bold, left-leaning future, one that prioritizes social justice and economic equality. The city's political and business elite are watching closely, wary of what his victory could mean for their interests and the future of New York City. Andrew Cuomo's independent run is a high-stakes comeback, betting that experience trumps controversy. He pitches himself as the only candidate with the skills to manage New York's vast bureaucracy, appealing to moderates and conservatives alarmed by Mamdani's agenda. Cuomo touts his crisis management during the pandemic and his ability to secure resources from Albany and Washington. Yet, his record is a double-edged sword. His tenure as governor was marred by scandal and accusations of bullying. He frames the election as a choice between proven leadership and risky experimentation. Endorsements from business leaders and even Elon Musk highlight his appeal to those prioritizing stability. As polls tighten, Cuomo's disciplined campaign focuses on competence over ideology. His victory would mark a stunning political resurrection, and a statement that experience can outweigh scandal. Curtis Sliwa, the Republican, is the race's most unconventional figure. Founder of the Guardian Angels, a group known for patrolling New York's subways and streets in their signature red berets. For decades, Sliwa has been a familiar face in the city, both as a radio host and as a community activist, often stepping into the spotlight during moments of crisis. His deep roots in New York's neighborhoods make him a fixture in city life, and he's never shied away from engaging directly with residents about their daily struggles. Sliwa's campaign is built around public safety and quality of life, promising to restore a sense of order and security that many feel has slipped away in recent years. He appeals to New Yorkers who feel the city has grown less safe, tapping into anxieties about crime, homelessness, and the changing character of their neighborhoods. Sliwa's populist outsider message resonates with a dedicated base of supporters who see him as a straight-talking alternative to career politicians, someone who understands their frustrations and isn't afraid to challenge the status quo. But despite his energy and name recognition, he faces steep odds in a city where Democrats outnumber Republicans by a wide margin, making his path to victory a difficult one. Sliwa frames himself as the only candidate willing to take on what he calls a corrupt political establishment, vowing to clean up City Hall and put ordinary New Yorkers first. He focuses on gut-level concerns, like safety, cleanliness, and accountability, rather than detailed policy proposals, betting that voters want action more than promises. Despite his high profile, Sliwa continues to trail in the polls, struggling to break through in a crowded field and win over skeptical voters. His campaign has also splintered the anti-Mamdani vote, dividing those who oppose the Democratic frontrunner and making it harder for any single challenger to gain traction. In the end, Sliwa's presence in the race could actually help Mamdani by dividing the opposition, a dynamic that's become a key storyline in this election. Still, Sliwa's relentless focus on public safety keeps these issues at the forefront of the campaign, forcing every candidate to address the fears and concerns of New Yorkers. His campaign ensures that anxieties about crime and disorder remain central to the race, shaping the conversation and the priorities of his rivals. Even as an underdog, Curtis Sliwa's presence is impossible to ignore. He forces the other candidates to confront the city's deep concerns about order, safety, and the future of New York. On the eve of the election, the political world was rocked by an unexpected announcement. President Donald Trump, in a move that defied party lines and stunned both supporters and critics, publicly endorsed Andrew Cuomo over Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa. The news sent shockwaves through the nation, as few could have predicted that Trump would throw his weight behind a Democrat in such a high-stakes race. The endorsement came via Trump's own Truth Social account, where he urged his followers and all voters to back Cuomo, declaring him the only candidate strong enough to stop Zohran Mamdani. Trump's post was blunt, calling any vote for Sliwa a wasted effort and insisting that unity was needed to prevent what he described as a radical takeover of New York City. This was not just a simple endorsement, it was a calculated, strategic move to consolidate the anti-Mamdani vote. By injecting himself into the local race, Trump transformed a city election into a national spectacle, drawing attention from media outlets across the country and raising the stakes for everyone involved. But Trump didn't stop at an endorsement. He escalated the drama by threatening to cut off federal funding to New York City if Mamdani emerged victorious, labeling the candidate a communist, and warning of dire consequences for the city's future. In an official statement, the president declared, "If communist candidate Zohran Mamdani wins, it is highly unlikely I will be contributing federal funds, other than the very minimum." The message was clear. The city's financial well-being was now directly tied to the outcome of the mayoral race. This extraordinary intervention dominated headlines, with newsrooms scrambling to cover the unfolding drama. The president's involvement reshaped the campaign's final hours, leaving candidates and voters alike scrambling to respond to the new reality. Trump's move was disruptive, headline-grabbing, and deeply polarizing. It was designed not only to boost Cuomo's chances, but also to intimidate Mamdani's supporters and sow uncertainty among undecided voters. The city's political landscape was suddenly more volatile than ever. Now, New Yorkers faced a choice that went beyond picking a mayor. It was a test of the city's independence, its values, and its relationship with the White House. The outcome would reverberate far beyond city limits, shaping the future of national politics. Trump's endorsement of Cuomo is a double-edged sword. It could boost Cuomo among conservatives and moderates, consolidating the anti-Mamdani vote in a tight race. But in deep blue New York, Trump's support risks alienating the very voters Cuomo needs, complicating his narrative as Trump's adversary. For Mamdani, Trump's attack energizes progressives, framing the race as New York versus a hostile federal government. The threat to cut funding adds pressure. Some may vote for Cuomo to protect aid. Others may rally behind Mamdani in defiance. Trump's words force voters to consider not just their mayor, but how their choice will be perceived in Washington. The endorsement and threat have made this election a referendum on the city's independence and values. The candidates' responses to Trump's intervention revealed their core strategies. Mamdani met the threat with defiance, framing Trump's attack as proof he's the true anti-establishment candidate. He mocked the communist label, clarifying his democratic socialist stance and reassuring voters Trump's threats are legally empty. Mamdani argued the endorsement clarified the choice, a mayor for Trump or a mayor for working New Yorkers. Cuomo, meanwhile, distanced himself from Trump, insisting the endorsement was more about opposing Mamdani than supporting him. He pivoted to his experience, claiming only he could handle Trump's aggressive tactics and protect the city's interests. Yet, Cuomo echoed Trump's warnings, arguing a Mamdani win would spell disaster for federal relations. Both candidates used the moment to sharpen their contrasts: defiance versus pragmatism, outsider versus negotiator. As polls close, the stakes are clear. This election will shape New York's future and send ripples nationwide. A Mamdani victory signals a new era of progressive policies and generational change. A Cuomo win means stability and experienced management. The race is a referendum on leadership style. Grassroots movement versus executive experience. The outcome will impact the city's political culture, its relationship with police, real estate, and diverse communities. Nationally, the result will be seen as a bellwether for the country's political mood ahead of the midterms. The city's response to Trump's threats will set the tone for urban federal relations across America. Tonight, New Yorkers aren't just choosing a mayor. They're making a statement about their city's identity and its place on the national stage. The world is watching.